Hello brothers and welcome back to the channel. Today a little bit more of a casual video. It's not scripted. Most of my videos are, in-depth scripted videos where I take a lot of time, several hours to sort of, flesh something out and then bring it to you guys in what I think is hopefully at least a well-constructed manner. Today, a little bit more casual. So just wanted to do, it's almost like a sort of checkup. Okay, so I have recently crossed the 100-hour threshold in this game. A lot of people are like, holy cow, do you ever go outside? Like I mentioned before, I was lucky enough to get a review copy of the game over a week before early access, so I've been playing it for a while now. So yeah, I'm over 100 hours now. What have I learned in that process? And that's going to cover a wide variety of things. All the gameplay in the video today will be on the Ruthless difficulty, so that way you don't have to. You always get those questions like, what am I seeing in the background here? It looks kind of sketchy. This looks like it's probably minimal. It's like, well, okay. So just so you know, I'll get that out there now. Actually, a lot of the guys that you're going to see in the gameplay here, shout out to some of these dudes. So we just started, I talked about this yesterday in the video, on the assault video, but one of the issues that I commonly face is that I just don't have a ton of reliable people to play with, and it helps me out when I'm recording footage and things of the sort, just to know that I've got decent teammates and I don't have to run the risk of getting paired up with AI bot companions or having a level 2 assault guy jump into the squad when I'm trying to farm Ruthlesses. So anyways, we made a new community. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video, but we have a nice little community now and got to meet some new folks, and we game together and farm some of these Ruthless. You can see, we're casually strolling through these. We finished one. I had only taken 70 damage on a Ruthless clear, 200 damage on a Ruthless clear. So we were making very short work of these things. Very efficient. So if you're looking for people to play with and, a good way to level up your weapons and gear by getting purple and relic tier data, hey, check out our community. I'll talk about that again at the end. But anyway, so let's talk about what I've learned along the way. And, we'll start with community stuff. Okay, we'll start with community stuff. I've learned that the people in this game, the community for Space Marine, is overwhelmingly positive. The overwhelming majority of people are really chill, really fun to play with.
True Vanguard.
But also, since you can't turn matchmaking off, it's wild the kind of people that you sometimes do encounter. And we're only into week 2 of the game's official launch, but there's already some sort of stigmas being, solidified, preconceptions, and even some whining and complaining about things needing nerfed. It's like, guys, it's a PvE game. It's a PvE game. It does not matter like you think it matters. There's people out there begging for nerfs for certain classes. I've shown up to just quick match things where I hop in there. And it's like, okay, well, I'll play my heavy. And they're like, oh, so you're just going to crutch the multi-melta? It's like, okay, fine. Well, I guess I'll play my Vanguard instead. Well, you got the melta rifle too. That's pretty OP. Okay, fine. I'll play tactical. Tactical's S tier, and it's got the noob tube grenade launcher. It's like, okay, man, that's half the classes. I guess I'll run sniper. And he's like, no, I'm running sniper. It's the only class I have leveled up. It's like, jeez, you got to be freaking kidding me. It's just there's already sort of those mentalities settling in, this is OP, this is too much. And people get a little bit too overzealous about how they view other classes that aren't the ones that they main. And it's kind of silly. It's just, guys, it's a PvE game. Let people enjoy it before we get out there starting to make threads on Reddit asking for nerfs for things. Just let it be for now. Let people have some fun. Get their feet under them. Get a good solid foundation. A lot of people are still learning the game. A lot of people still stuck on average difficulty. There's no shame in that. You will see people in the comment section sometimes saying things like, if you can't clear average difficulty, you're trash. I casually stroll through Ruthless tier, and if you don't, then you're bad. It's just ignore all that, tune all that out. This game is, it's got a bit of a learning curve, and I've learned that over the course. I'm still picking up new things 100 hours into the game that I wasn't using or utilizing before, so there's no shame in taking your time to really get acclimated to the process of playing Space Marine 2. No shame in that whatsoever. Let's talk a little bit about what 100 plus hours looks like in terms of investment and unlocks. So if we're talking about classes, I've been taking the class grind actually kind of slow. So you could probably max out all 6 classes in 50 hours if that was your priority. It was not my priority. So I have half of the classes at level 25. I have tactical, assault, and Vanguard all at level 25. And then I'm working on my others. My heavy and my sniper are the closest ones, but Bulwark's been severely neglected. So I got a little work to do to get those ones maxed out. But we'll get there soon, and I'll continue to do the deep dive series. But I've actually spent a lot more time once I get to max level. I don't just immediately move on because I want to play. I mean, I spent all that time getting to max level. I want to really play with all the perks, see how the build comes together. I want to invest in leveling up multiple weapon options for these classes as well, because I feel like, I mean, this was the case with Tactical, was I started out with the Plasma Incinerator and the Melter Rifle, and I ended up switching to the Plasma Incinerator for the main and got it to level 25 with the Incinerator, and then I started to move on, and people were like, hey man, you need to go back to Tactical, because there's this grenade launcher business that's going down. And so I did. I doubled back, and now I'm dropping, between 20 and 30,000 damage in Ruthless clears with the grenade launcher. It's wild. So sometimes you miss stuff. So it definitely pays to kind of take things the distance, even once you've fully unlocked everything on your class in terms of your perk tree. Hey, now there's like a new process where you get to really get creative with build synergy and trying to figure out what the best way for you personally, your personal play style, what that is. I with my assault stuff, I ended up really leaning into the gun strike stuff, but one of the guys I was playing with last night that I met through our new Discord group was playing assault on Ruthless with me, and he was never going down, but he was playing with the lightning hammer and no gun strike business at all. All of his perks were invested in utilizing charge up attacks and the jetpack. So, I mean, there's multiple different ways to play the thing that you like. So get creative, experiment with it a bit. But I think perhaps the biggest change for me over the course of 100 years, friggin' A, this is why I script things. I think the biggest change for me after 100 hours in the game is really my survivability. I showed this little endgame screen earlier where I only took 70 damage through the course of an entire full-length operation on the Ruthless tier. And it was a bit of a casual stroll. And that has a lot to do with the fact that over time, I have sort of built up that muscle memory that I didn't have initially. That, when this happens, I do this. If I see this, I do this. And it's those quick reactions that just come over time, that they become subconscious, you know what I mean? And that's really what I think stands out the most after so much time invested in the game. And I know that with you and your gameplay, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to start sensing your own skill improving dramatically over time. The more reps you get in, the more your body is it's just subconscious at this point. It's going to react to things in the moment without you having to really think about it. Like, oh, when I see this, what should I do? You just do it, right? You just do. And you can kind of, we were talking about this last night with the guys I was playing with. Sometimes we're really hot on the comms. We're talking, bantering back and forth, and then a massive enemy wave comes and everybody goes quiet. There are no call outs. There's no, hey, do this. Hey, help me with this. Everybody goes silent because everybody just sort of gets in the zone and gets in a groove. And that's one of my favorite things about this game is the flow of combat when things get hectic. Once you've learned to deal with the hectic nature of this game, you can really get into sort of this flow state, and just vibe with it. And you're parrying, and you're dodging, and you're gun striking, and you're executing, and you're swinging your melee weapon around in 360 degrees, taking out all these threats that are coming your way. You're activating perks in your perk tree that synergize with other people's, and then you're also receiving the benefits of theirs. There's a Vanguard in my class. I got this execution. It cooled down my jetpack. The extra 15% that I needed, I instantly launch into the air. I singe everything around me because I've got that burst of fire that happens when I launch with my jetpack. It's stuff like that. When it all comes together, this game can be so incredibly satisfying. And I think that's what stands out the most to me after 100 hours invested in the game. But I want to hear from you guys. Where are you at with your investment? How have you sensed a change in your journey as a Space Marine as you've been leveling up different classes, or maybe it's just the one? Like, where are you now in comparison to where you started? What has changed for you? What stands out to you? And do you see yourself, this is a big important question, I think, do you see yourself continuing to invest your time and energy into this game? I know there's only 6 operations, right? And they can start to get repetitive, even if they do have some randomization in them. But we do have more operations coming in the, before the end of the year. We're getting new PvE missions. We've got new enemy types. We've got all kinds of cool stuff on the horizon. One of the things that I'm really hoping we get, quite frankly, is, and I haven't seen it, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen this in any of their roadmaps for future content, but I hope we get new classes too. Like, can you imagine if we actually get a proper chaplain class? That would be incredible. I would love that. But the Warhammer 40k lore is just so rich and so deep. There are lots and lots of different ways you could take classes. And the question isn't like, okay, what do we come up with? The question is, which one do we choose? Because there are so many options for different kinds of classes you could bring to this game based on the lore around Warhammer 40k. So really hoping we see them go that direction as well. With that being said, thanks so much for watching the video and listening to me unscriptedly just sort of babble on. As I've been told in the comment sections before, that I babble. Sometimes I do, and this was admittedly one of those times, but hopefully you enjoyed the discussion. Hey, like I said, we have a Discord group, and here's how you access it. So if you are interested in having a group of people to play with, I do have a Patreon page, and I made this brand new like dirt cheap tier it syncs up with your Discord account. So if you link your Discord and your Patreon account, it'll automatically send you over to our new Discord. And that's my True Vanguard Discord. But the problem is I only have one Patreon page. They don't let you have two pages. And I already have a Patreon page for my whiskey community because I also have another channel where I collect and review and talk about whiskeys. So I'll put the link to the Patreon in the description and in the pinned comment if you're interested. We've already got a bunch of cool people in there, farming together, gaming together, getting groups together, and I've played now with several of you guys in just the last 24 hours as well, which is really cool too. But if you click on that link, it'll take you over to the Patreon page. Make sure you click on the $3 tier. It's cheaper than a Twitch sub, just $3. And that specific tier will link up your Discord. It will grant you the specific role that you need in my True Vanguard Discord to access two rooms. The two rooms you're looking for are Space Marine 2 and Space Marine LFG. Those are the two rooms where we're congregating right now. The general chat there, just having conversations. And in the LFG, that's, hey, here's, I'm in a game right now, I'm solo, here's the join code. And you don't even have to be on comms. We had this last night. People were just like, I'm not even on comms. I just put my code in the LFG, and someone who's also farming will type in the code and hop in the fire team, listen to your Spotify. You don't even have to talk. If you're like, I'm antisocial, but I want good teammates, boom, got you covered. But if you also like the social aspect of it, we've got voice chat rooms, and I enjoyed kind of being in there with several of the guys last night, just kind of shooting the breeze while we shot some Tyranids and Chaos enemies as well. Anyways, thank you so much for all the great support. We've now had over 2,000 new subs to the channel since I started covering this game, which is amazing and very humbling. I was not expecting that kind of reception to my Space Marine content, and that really does mean the world to me. I really appreciate it quite a bit, guys. Hey, be warm and well fed, my friends. Courage and honor, brothers. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.